welcome to the Spark Up Biz podcast. I'm here with Elizabeth Larkin from doTERRA, and we are introducing you to businesses that you can meet and network and learn more about on sparkupbiz.com. So thank you so much for joining me today, Elizabeth. How are you
Thank you
today?
for the invitation.
How are you
I'm
today up
doing
in
well, thank
Canada?
you.
So you're in Canada because you work for an
hmm
international company. So doTERRA is international. So tell us a little bit about what doTERRA does and where you can work, because I think that would probably be the first thing for everyone to know.
Okay, so anyone who wants to work with doTERRA works from their own home. It's a team environment. You've got all kinds of support. doTERRA itself is a global company. They started with just pure essential oils and have expanded that to include other products, but they source the plant materials from where they grow best in the world. And they only deal with small independent growers and they give back to those communities. They do not deal with big commercial outfits just because they want to give it back as much as possible, and small independent growers know their plants.
Yeah.
Big commercial outfits, not so much. Um, they do not advertise as being organic, simply because organic means different things in different parts of the world. It's different in North America, where there are stricter guidelines compared to other countries where you sign a piece of paper, you pay your fee, and there's no follow-up on that. So instead of organic, they have all of their oils third-party tested to ensure that they are both 100% pure and that the potency is consistent batch to batch. That gives a reliable product that customers can depend on, and moving more and more into medical research, where that consistency is key for a valid research study, because you need a constant.
What do you think the core mission of doTERRA is? I know you're essential oils, but what is their
Yeah.
main mission?
Their main mission is to educate people on how effective essential oils are, and essentially to get a bottle of oil into every home
Okay. How'd you get
once that
involved?
people realize how they get that. How I got involved was I was actually doing some research for a better cleaning product because I hate that aisle in the grocery store. I avoid it at all costs. And Facebook, doing what Facebook does, it told me about a doTERRA workshop that was happening in my area. So I went, I learned about it, learned about cl- cleaning product that is based on one of their blends of oils. Dragged my sister along. She's still a customer. She's got no interest in being a part of the business, and that's perfectly fine. There's no pressure for anyone to be involved that way. But I decided that I like the product enough that I am willing to talk about it, because you have to have faith in a product to promote it. And um, we went from there, and apparently, according to my mother, there's medicine women in our background, so she felt it was a natural segue for me.
Really, medicine woman. So a lot that brings up, a lot of people are trying to get more holistic and more natural because there's so many chemicals out there. So
Exactly.
you started off with cleaning products, and you mentioned that there's like a
Yeah.
variety of products. So what else have you explored? Because you probably don't use every product, but you probably have some favorites.
I do have some favorites. The cleaning product line, which the oil is called On Guard, and it's available in the oil itself, which I have been diffusing basically since day one when I got it.
Hmm.
And with everything going on in the world, my household was healthy. Nobody came down with it.
Wow.
Um, so they've also got an all-purpose cleaner. They've got laundry detergent. They've got a fluoride-free toothpaste and a mouthwash. And what else? I'm missing something. There's soft gels that contain the oil, so just a little capsule to contain the oil because the blend itself helps to boost your own immunity.
Okay.
So if you're feeling a little under the weather, you take a couple of capsules for a couple of days, and most people feel better after that.
And that's something that's important to understand because my understanding is that not all essential oils should be ingested or could be ingested. Um, but doTERRAs are of a quality
Correct.
that can be safely.
Exactly. And that would be my number one message is if you are using essential oils, fantastic, but please do your due diligence because they're from nature. So if the company that you're investigating says, please do not ingest our oils, to me, that's a red flag because that means there is something in there that you should not be taking internally. Now, there are exceptions with doTERRA. There are some that you cannot, and we strongly recommend you don't. The big one would be the wintergreen oil,
Mhm.
which one of its active properties is acetyl salicylic acid,
That's a fancy word.
aspirin, which is a blood
Okay.
thin. Yeah, um, basically aspirin, which is a blood thinner.
Oh,
So we don't want people taking something like that without being under a practitioner's direction. So
mhm.
we say do not ingest that one at all. There's a couple of the blends, if there's like a carrier oil in with it, that yeah, maybe you shouldn't. You've got to topically and you've got breathing it in as alternate uses for the oils, which are just as effective, just in a different way.
How long have you been doing this? Just curious.
I've been with doTERRA. It would have been shortly before COVID, so probably 2019 was when I started. Very much part-time. My other job does still pay most of the bills. So, but my goal is to transition eventually out of and do this full time.
When you're talking to someone who's never worked with essential oils, may have heard of essential oils, what is their biggest surprise when you start talking to them and you really, they start delving into what it can do for them? What's their biggest surprise, do you think?
Basically, probably how many uses a particular oil can have. For example, lavender, which I know you can't use in your household.
Unless I want to kill my
But
husband. He'd like to
yeah,
breathe.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's calming.
Mhm.
Everybody knows how calming it is. It's also good for skin irritations. Either lavender or tea tree, one or the other can handle most skin irritations. Um, Lavender is good for burns.
Okay.
Which my husband, my resident skeptic, learned firsthand. He accidentally reached above a boiling kettle to reach into a cupboard and got a scald burn on his arm. So he's running it under cold water, and it's like, we can try this. No, I'm fine, I'm fine. Kept running the cold water, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna put a drop on. I'm not gonna rub it. I'm not gonna do. So he finally agreed, and I put a couple of drops just on the center of where it was, and within 5 minutes it was down to tolerable.
Wow. All right, I'm just going to put this out there, and I'm probably going to get ripped in comments about this, but, and I say this with the utmost affection for my husband, men are wusses when it comes to being sick and pain and in pain. And they're very, in my experience, very resistant to trying things that might
Hmm.
actually help them, like take medicine or anything like that. So, not that I've ever had that experience in my house. So, your husband is probably the same way. What did he think when you started bringing home
Exactly.
essential oils?
He was fine with it. He said when I said I wanted to get into the business, he said, "Do your research on the company. but he was supportive of me doing it, not necessarily of him taking them. But he has got a few that he will use on a regular basis now.
So you
So
converted him
somewhat, yep. Just
somewhat.
gotta
Yep.
get him talking about it too. So, but that'll come.
Now, you and I have talked numerous times before. One of the things that I know you really want to start working with or work with is you love families with younger kids that want to maybe raise them in a healthier environment than over the chemicals. What can you tell me about how you can approach having small kids or kids in the house and how essential oils can help?
Um, they can start right from day one. Diffusing while they're sleeping, like a calming oil, like a lavender. It's in the air. It's very diluted, so there's no danger to that. Um, as they get older, there's actually a kids collection,
Oh, wow.
which the oils are already diluted. They've got different names. So the On Guard is called Strength, and there's the Calming, there's all kinds of them. And it comes with flashcards that the kids can actually read and start helping making their own decisions of this is the one I want to use today, sort of thing. There's also a sun care line, which again, we all know how chemically slanted some of those sunscreens are. Um, so there's that. There's supplements for kids, probiotics that apparently taste like candy. My kids were too old to give them
I
that
want
one.
those.
But oh, exactly. So there's a lot targeted for kids. And again, it's moving away from your everyday store products that if you take a look at the list of ingredients on them, um, some of them are scary. I mean, most of them you can't pronounce. And um, the actual most, what I refer to as the most dangerous ingredient listed is fragrance, because you have absolutely no idea what is involved in that because companies are allowed to do it because it's a proprietary blend. And so they don't have to share.
I know one of you mentioned suntan lotion. Right now, we were talking. The sun is out. It is June,
Hmm.
and one of the big things I have grandbabies is bug spray, and
Hmm.
there's all sorts of concoctions out there for bug sprays. But you actually mentioned
There is.
lavender. Lavender actually helps with mosquitoes. It keeps mosquitoes away.
Hmm.
So I would think that you
Yeah.
probably have a blend for that as well. I know that we had an event, my husband and I, we live out in the woods, and we actually got dried lavender and spread it all over our back field. And it was amazing because we kept the mosquitoes away, not only for the event, but it lasted for weeks. So
Oh,
what,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting
So
what you
yeah,
can do.
lavender. Yeah. It's very interesting what you can do. And yes, there is a blend, which, I'm in the middle of the woods in cottage country, and it's like all summer it starts with the black flies, then it goes to the mosquitoes, and then the deer flies show up.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so the blend is called Terra Shield, and it comes both in a spray pump bottle or just the bottle of the oil. And I use it. They will buzz around me, but they will not land, which of course is your main goal.
So you
Is not to
mentioned
have them
horse
biting you.
flies and black flies. Does that help with that as well?
Yes. Yeah, the black flies, the mosquitoes. Yeah,
I did
the
not know
insects
that.
in general.
I
Yes,
did
the
not. I
insects in
might have to.
general.
I'll have to talk to my husband because he welts right up. We actually joke. We have a dragonfly clip that we wear in our baseball cap,
Hmm.
so doubly protected. Which sounds really weird, but it helps keep them away. So
It does
doubly
work.
protecting him,
I
though.
have heard it works.
It
Exactly.
It's funny.
Now you might want
Maybe
to,
the
yeah,
best.
you'll need to check the ingredients. There's no lavender in it, so it won't hurt him that way, but
Well,
there might be with your lists of allergies, you might want to just
he
double
might,
check
well, he
that
might
one.
be able to wear it because, yeah. But you and I have also discussed that, we live in the woods. You and I both live away from, yeah, towns. Um,
Civilization, yeah.
if you could say that, which is one of the reasons we network online primarily. But it can also, even if like rodent control, essential oils can, and the
Hmm.
scents of them can actually drive rodents and pests away. So it's always good to know and
Exactly.
to open your mind as to, okay, what else could I do, just to keep them away. So it's been
Oh, exactly.
yeah, very cool. So, what is your perfect situation if someone were to make a referral for you? If they met someone, if someone was having a cup of coffee and walking down the street and they ran into someone, what would the perfect referral look like for you?
Perfect referral would be someone who is um, frustrated with what's available. They haven't heard about essential oils. They're not aware that they are a safer natural solution to what they may be using. In some instances, some people have a multitude of health issues, which, again, some of these oils could be of assistance, but I will always reiterate that they need to be speaking with their healthcare practitioner. Some are more receptive than others to natural solutions. Some are not, and you just need to work with that. I have a friend who started using doTERRA around the same time, who has three separate autoimmune issues, plus a host of other things. She has a very supportive specialist who worked with her and was able to eliminate a number of the medications she was on and decrease the dosage of others. So,
Yeah, I think that's important is first of all, you have to feel comfortable with your medical professional, but not
exactly.
all, and I say this because not all medical professionals are created equally as well. There's some really, really good ones,
No.
and then there are some that are, just putting band-aids on situations. So make sure, I would suggest make sure your medical professional is someone who will actually sit down and talk to you about these things. I love
Yes.
my pharmacists. So between the two, I
Hmm.
love my pharmacist because a lot of times they're actually more in the know of how chemicals and essential oils and medications can actually affect you. So that's my two cents.
Exactly.
But as I
Hmm.
met with my pharmacist yesterday, but there's a lot of things that can be done with essential oils, and you mentioned research. So what is the research that's going on?
there's several different ones. Usually it's taking specific oils and how even just inhaling them, and they've got like a control group where they've got some doing the actual essential oil and some doing a controlled um a special control or even some sort of placebo in some cases, and how effective they are, the differences between them. I've been reading a lot of things about lemongrass oil, which is actually one of our more economical products, but they're finding a lot of things. Now it's in that blend for to repel insects.
Hmm.
Um, but there are a lot of other internal conditions that they're finding that it is much more effective as well. doTERRA has a website that has so much information, and there's a whole section on the research that they're doing on different things. So there are literally several rabbit holes that you could find yourself going down, looking up things. So if anyone's interested in that, I usually recommend, okay, give me your top two, whether it's products, whether it's conditions, and I'll guide you to those first couple of web pages. And then where you go from there, it's what your interest takes you to. But that's one of the big things about the website is how much information there is there. There's a product information page on every single product that they have to offer. It'll, if it for the blends, it will include all of the oils that are included. It will give any disclaimers like don't put this on in the sun, which is for most of the citrus oils. They are photosensitive. So we recommend you do not put it on just before going out in the sun, or if you are, put it in an area that's going to be covered
Okay.
with clothing or anything, because we don't
But
want you to get burned.
you don't want us to look orange. Okay, good to know.
No,
Or red.
no,
So you
or
mentioned what
red.
a good referral would look like for you. What would a good referral partner look like for you?
A good referral partner could be anyone in the allied health, or even physicians themselves if they are interested in exploring that option with some of their patients. Um, so I mean, so you've got massage therapists, most of them are already hooked up with their own going into it, which is perfectly fine. Again, they're happy with their products. That's great. You've got chiropractors, you've got
Local
doulas.
therapists, I think too.
Yeah, yeah, therapists, yeah, any sort of therapist. I mean, and that could go even into the mental health psychotherapy sort of thing, because there's several oils that help with mood regulation and like I said, calming and everything like that. So any, basically any Western medicine or a therapy sort of thing could potentially be a partner, if they are so inclined and wanting to expand their situation that way.
You and I had talked before, there is a business opportunity for people, but this can also be used as a
Yes.
fundraising program, for like a PTA or a
Yes,
school district or a nursery school or something like that. And it would benefit the
absolutely.
kids and to keep them healthy. So tell us more about that.
Okay, so yes, there have been people who have approached PTAs or schools themselves to use that as fundraisers. Schools are always looking for new fundraising opportunities. There's only so many books parents can buy, or
Wrapping paper. Yep.
wrapping paper, or the latest one is
Candles, cookie dough.
candles, cookie
Can,
dough,
can you
or
tell I've had a
even
few? Yeah.
meat. Yeah, or even like meat. Um,
Yes.
there's been some with meat. So there's all kinds of different opportunities. And just to change it up so the schools aren't another one um, of the same thing. Like I said, there's only so much. I mean, well, depending on your family, cookie dough's not a bad idea. It saves you from doing it yourself.
I now I
Yeah.
want chocolate chip cookies. Thanks. Yeah. It's like now I want cookies. Dang it.
Of course, exactly. Yep. Oh yeah,
So I would
absolutely.
I would think this would be
So
great for nursery schools because you could actually do the cleaning at the nursery school itself with it, but then you can also send it all home with the families and keep the kids healthy and stuff too. I would think that
exactly.
patients that have maybe been diagnosed with cancer would also be good because they want to get away from the chemicals and things and get cleaner. It's one of the things that they suggest to cancer
Exactly.
patients. So.
And yeah, and we have to remember that our in-home environment can actually be more toxic than the outdoor,
Yeah.
depending on the products that we're using to to clean them and everything else. So you mentioned candles. I used to be a big scented candle person until I started with doTERRA and I started diffusing the pure oil. And My one of my daughters bought me some candles for Christmas, and even like I unwrapped it, and before I even opened the box, like the scent was just cloying in the back of my throat. And it's like, thank you. I love the thought, but please take this home with you.
And the th I love candles. I have to admit it, but I'm
Yeah.
also very careful where I buy my candles. And when
Yeah.
this is a husband story. When my husband's family met me, they didn't really know me, so they anytime I needed a present would buy me a candle, and they are
Candles.
not. Some of them are just nasty smelling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They are.
it's yeah. So, but I also probably ended up with enough candles that I could light an entire town from that time
Hmm.
period. So,
Yep.
yep. It's like, oh, here's another. I actually got 10 in one year at one event. Like, okay.
Mhm.
So I love the idea of
So too.
diffusing the essential oils, though, because some of them smell really healthy or smell really great and are very healthy for you. Just as long as your
Hmm.
husband doesn't have an allergy and can't breathe around them, but we're all good. So,
Exactly. Actually, one he likes to have diffused, it's called Midnight Forest,
okay.
which, we're already surrounded by trees, but okay, fine. And so I'm using that a lot right now, just to help calm the bedroom while he's doing his exercises or trying to get sleep with post knee surgery pain. So,
Are there any essential oils that can be used as a disinfectant? Because I know that a lot of natural cleaning, people automatically like, well, I need a disinfectant. Is there a disinfectant that can be used?
actually, funny story. Shortly after I started, I'm getting all these posts and emails and things. There was a woman I think that her child was like fifth grade, and she did a science fair project I think she just used a Q-tip like on the inside of the garbage can, kitchen garbage can. And she put it in 5 different little petri dishes. And she had one she didn't add anything to. One was water. One was Lysol, Mr. Clean, bleach, and then 2 doTERRA oils. One was the On Guard, and
Hmm.
another one was and the other one was that's called Purify.
Hmm.
To see those petri dishes 72 hours later,
Hmm.
the bleach, the Javex, and the Mr. Clean had so much growth on them.
Really?
Yes. You know what? I will find that picture and I will send it to you.
Because you know
But
me.
because I have it saved. Yes.
So I have sold everything from pixie dust to toilet paper in my career. And one of
Hmm.
the companies I worked with, I was actually working with a ton of hospitals and teaching their environmental services how to clean. And one of the tools that we had was by 3M, and it came with these swabs, and you could swab any surface and then put it in there in the little machine. It would tell you how many germs per like square type thing.
Yep.
Um, and it's really disgusting. Like
Oh, it is.
it can be
No, it
really
is. Even
disgusting.
though,
Yeah.
yeah, even though
So
it may look clean. Yeah.
So I had a dog's bedroom. It was the dog's bedroom, and it was tiled floor. So dogs they're in and out, and I took it, and the numbers were off the charts. And I
Hmm.
used a cleaner, and I was trying to give it an illustration. I was taking pictures of it to show a hospital, and I went into the hospital, and we swabbed something there, and it was actually a patient's table for a clean table. It was supposed to have been clean, and it had more germs than my dog's room floor. So having a disinfectant that can beat bleach, because bleach, there a lot of the products and used in hospitals and disinfectants, and don't even get me
Hmm.
started on the efficacy of bleach because you know my history with it. That's huge. That can
Yeah.
be a huge thing. And I'm assuming that these can be
Exactly.
diluted, so a little goes a long, long way, especially because you get to to
Oh, absolutely.
concentrate. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Like I said, it's yeah, I'm all for safer cleaning, and we all need that disinfectant. We thank goodness that COVID, we as a world are past the main hump of COVID, but we all need disinfectants, especially if you have grandbabies or kids or dogs or things, because they're germ factories. Sorry, you are my office
They
assistant is right here, so
exactly. And yeah, so it's very interesting. Yes, I will find those two before and after pictures for just to share with you the different things. But
uh,
it's just, I mean, even water was better than the traditional cleaning products
yeah,
in terms of the
it's
growth.
there's a science to
So,
cleaning, and people don't realize that necessarily. There's a dwell time
no,
and a kill
exactly.
time, and yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. So, um, we're going to wrap up a little bit, but before we go, if you could leave our audience with just one main takeaway from today, what would it be?
One main takeaway is essential oils are from nature, so therefore they will have potentially fewer side effects to most people. Some people are still allergic, can't get past that. But whatever company you choose, you want to try their oils, please do your due diligence first. And there's a saying, friends don't let friends buy oils from Walmart or Amazon. And basically, a Walmart oil will say it's 100% pure oil. And technically that might be true, but as little as 3% of that
Wow.
is your actual essential oil. The rest it would be a filler oil, which is why they technically can say it's 100%. So just be careful, ask questions, do your due diligence, and find the best products that you feel will help your family.
So you are on sparkupbiz.com. You also host a
I am
coffee hour every week in our live networking chat room that people can click on the left. Your coffee hour is on Friday mornings, correct?
Friday morning, yes, Friday morning, 8:30 to 9:30 a.m.
Okay, and anyone can join sparkupbiz.com for free, and anyone on the platform, no matter what membership level, can join a coffee hour just by clicking on that link. So, what other ways
Correct.
can people get a hold of you?
I'm also on Facebook.
Hmm.
My Facebook page is Natural EO Wellbeing.
Hmm.
I'm also there under my own name, so they could find me there as well. I also have a linked up page that I do have to update. It's been linked up as is one of those sites that, yeah, you were told you should be joining it, but then you find all these messages coming in that have absolutely no,
Bots. Yep.
no. There's the bots, or there's people just, trying to randomly connect with you that who have no idea what it is you're doing, and you have no interest in what they're doing, unfortunately.
It's well, one of the
So
reasons we created Spark Up is. So, yeah,
this is true.
there you go.
So yeah.
All
So
right.
yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much email, which is on my page on Facebook that they can email me or message me either way, and I'll get back to them, and we can set up a similar Zoom call from wherever they are to answer any of their questions.
You could actually do this right on Spark Up Biz too,
We could
because you
we
can
could
video
do this on
chat.
Spark Up Bits.
There you
This
go.
is true.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And again, please join sparkupbiz.com. Continue the conversation with Elizabeth. Join her for her coffee hour. I know she's always looking for people to, chat with there. And I hope you have a lovely day. I know you said it was supposed to rain all day, so stay dry and stay cool. I say stay cool, but it's usually cool up there. We're going through the heat wave today. So,
Yeah, I think we're mid 70s tops today, although if it rains, that's the human X is gonna
Yeah.
factor in at some point. So,
Well, I wish you a happy day and thank you so, so much for doing this. And I will talk to you soon, I'm sure.